Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's take another look here at Knot. This is a coin I actually reevaluated recently, and I'm jumping in the charts to kind of see if it might be worth taking a trade because I did get an alert triggered this morning when we had this triangle pattern forming, and I just want to kind of talk about potential reasons why we may or may not want to go ahead and take a trade with this coin. Keep in mind, I'm always trying to convince myself not to take a trade versus the other way around, so it's important that you kind of try to maybe consider that yourself. Either way you look at it, very, very happy to report here. We got some solid profits here from Cardano, Near Protocol, ICP, and MNT here in the last 24 to 48 hours. Been a really solid week for us here. VeChain and Polkadot as well. So awesome stuff. Congrats to our community members. Thanks again so much for the awesome feedback. Let's look into the backend data too and kind of see here. This is liquidation levels on the left-hand side. We got the last 7 days liquidation for Knot, and then on the right-hand side, we've got 1 month liquidation, basically just giving us perspective on areas in which people are shorting or taking longs or have heavy positions. So while this isn't all that massive, there is some liquidation between I'm just going to paraphrase and say 8,700 or 8.7 maybe. You can do the math on the decimal points later, but basically anywhere between 8.7 and 9, we're seeing a pretty solid amount of liquidation. That's not a ton, don't get me wrong. Compared to Bitcoin, it's nothing. But this coin isn't, the market cap's a lot different. So keep in mind, that's a different scenario altogether. But if we take a look here, the macro is telling us between 9 and 9.4, we're seeing somewhere in the range of maybe about $1 billion in liquidation upwards of 9.4. So there's definitely some merit for the price action to move higher up. We can also see a ton of shorts just got demolished here with that recent pump up to about 8.9/9. So really good stuff here. This coin looks like it wants to continue higher. It is bouncing off its local resistance level, and that's a good sign. That's another reason why I set my alerts here at this level here when the price crossed about that 8.1 mark, mainly because there's some macro support levels there. Let's talk about that. So quickly to note on the daily time frame, if we look at the simple moving averages, we can recognize we got the 50-day SMA above us, but the 20s below us. So being above the 20-day SMA, generally a good sign. While we're not over the 50 yet, that's right there at that 9 to 9.1 range. Okay, so right where that new amount of liquidation is at, or that heavier concentration liquidation is right there for that level. So definitely looking good in that sense here. If we take a look at the MACD that's converging, we got our TSI over 0. Fantastic stuff. We're back up over 50 on the RSI, and money flow index is higher than the RSI. I'm a firm believer in money flow index being over the RSI as a very positive sign, specifically on the daily and the 4 hour. Keep in mind, I don't inundate myself with too many time frames. Some people use like 60 different time frames. Like, what the hell are you doing? You're literally just sitting there trying to convince yourself, looking through every single time frame. Oh, I see a convergence, a hidden bullish divergence. I don't know. I think less is more in a lot of ways. While I do use a good handful of indicators, I think that if you only focus on specific time frames, you're going to be much more successful, mainly because you're not paralyzing yourself with overanalyzing the charts. Again, that's just me personally. After 20 years, you kind of figure it out, at least what works best for you and your risk tolerance, and that just works well for me. Some people prefer to sit there and look at the charts all day long. While I like it and I enjoy it, I analyze maybe 20, 30 coins a day. I don't like to spend, a monumental amount of time on each. Anyways, look at the 4 hour time frame. Let's recognize that we're above all 4 moving averages. We got a lot of confluence here. That's 8.1 mark. Exactly why the price action bounced there. We can see this local high, which is the new low. Okay, so that's generally a very favorable sign. That in combination with this triangle pattern, and or you could even argue that this is a bull type of pendant pattern. There's a lot of things you can extract there. The key takeaway here is the lower low, lower high pattern is getting broken right now, and we bounced off this solid support at 8.1. So keep in mind, when I set my alerts previously, the alert was triggered here at about this 8.1 mark, because there's not only a fair value gap there that kind of got filled, it's halfway filled, but the price action responded very well to that with high volume. Okay, look at this volume, still staying high. Furthermore, too, we can recognize we're over 50 on the RSI, getting closer to 70. We break through that, we're going to see this coin take off. I think 9.1 to however high the liquidation is, we're going to see 9.6, maybe even 1 cent even, as a potential reality here. When we take a look at everything else, the trend strength is good. Everything's looking very strong here. While our MACD is losing its momentum, that's very, very strong, or normal rather, based on this strong volume candle. Okay, so you got to recognize that the moving averages, both stochastic and MACD, they have a tendency of giving you some false positives when there's a lot of volume flowing into one candlestick. So just keep that in mind, that does factor in here. Okay, so regardless of that sentiment, I think everything looks very, very strong here. Our ascending trend line is running concurrent with the 20 SMA. I think maintaining the 20 SMA on this coin is it's going to continue. All right, we're looking pretty good there for that reason. Ichimoku Cloud, we can see lagging span is free and clear, conversion lines over the baseline, and we have a pretty darn good situation here. This is 3 out of 3 reasons while we're above the cloud here maintaining. And look at this, the cloud itself is kind of hanging out right there with this ascending trend. We love to see that. That's generally a very positive scenario. Okay, so this coin does look like it wants to continue to take off. Again, that's just me personally seeing the charts and the way that they're moving right now. You're way better off taking longs versus shorts, and there's no reason to consider shorting mini coins. While you have some margin of profit, the return on investment for the amount of risk that you're taking is dramatically lower than taking a long. Just, again, some friendly advice there. Either way, I want to say thanks again to my community members for some awesome profits here with some of these awesome trades here recently. Appreciate the phenomenal feedback, and that goes for everybody else watching my YouTube channel for years, days, months, whatever. I really appreciate the fact that you hit the like button on every single video. And more importantly, just give me some really awesome constructive feedback. I'm always willing to try to learn and try new things, but I can tell you I do this for you guys and gals, and I just really appreciate you. Thank you so much either way. All right, hope you learned something here today. CryptoCash.tech is a site, link down below if you're curious about joining our trading community. We got some pretty awesome traders over here, and it's a lot of fun. So it's basically a big family that we got over there. So all in all, that's where we're at. I hope this serves you well. Look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again for your time. Take care.